You're listening to 91 Reasons, a journey into the twisted landscape of pop culture. Keep your hands and arms inside the podcast at all times. And now, the voice, Jeff Tucker.
Up in the morning, I'm out on the job, working like a devil for my pay, just like that lucky old sun, give me nothing to do but roll around heaven all day.
Where have we been? You're probably asking yourself, where has 91 Reasons Homestuck been? Well, we moved, and we've done 2 episodes since then, so we're still on track. Is that your phone?
Yeah, you go turn that off.
Yeah, you should probably silence your phone for the show.
Silent.
We're still on track doing episodes, but there is kind of a conundrum. Right, Austin?
Yes.
Okay, welcome to 91 Reasons Homestuck, episode 33.
Yes.
I believe 33 of our Homestuck series. There hasn't been a lot of Homestuck anything to talk about. So this episode, we're going to have to create our own thing to talk about. We watched some more of QLab. And, on the QLab thing, not QLab, CoLab.
Yeah.
QLab is a system for running shows at theme parks. Not that I would know anything about that. But it's a sound system. But we want to thank longtime Patreon pledger Vriska. Vriska's support of the show was so amazing, so fantastic. It was Vriska who wanted us to watch CoLab so that I could more understand what Homestuck is. So we've been watching it. How long have I watched? How many hours have I spent watching this thing?
Probably 5 or 6 hours.
5 or 6 hours of my life.
Yeah.
I'm Jeff. I'm the host of 91 Reasons. I'm joined, as always, by our resident Homestuck experts,
Austin.
Luna.
And we're continuing our Homestuck journey through the outer fringes of the internet. So we'll talk about CoLab in a second. But I know, Austin, you actually had some Homestuck news this week. Now, am I correct in saying there's no Andrew Hussey official Homestuck saga news?
Official news?
Has he done anything? Has there been an update of any kind?
We've only had one thing, which is the We Love Fine design contest was open for waiting. So you can go on We Love Fine and you can vote on all the fan designs for which one will get selected.
But there's no Homestuck story continuation.
No,
none of that.
They've teased that they're looking into Paradox Space again. But there's not enough from the fans. Rachel said that they're only even think about restarting it if they hear a lot from the fans, but they haven't heard that yet.
But
it's a dead project.
But wouldn't that be a self-fulfilling prophecy of if you don't put out content and you say, we're only going to put out content if you get excited, but you only get excited when there's content out, then it cancels itself out.
And one of the other problems is they keep saying, well, the merchandise wasn't selling. I don't know if they know this or not, because of the move to We Love Fine, none of the T-shirts from Paradox Space were even on We Love Fine. So you can't buy the T-shirts to support it at all. Mm-hmm. So how are we supposed to sell our support for Paradox Space? They said
Paradox Space, there's no way to make money from it, so they're not going to do it.
Yeah, just the books. The books are the only way to make money, a $20 book purchase. They do have T-shirts, but they're not up on We Love Fine yet. So
people have been suggesting stuff to Rachel on her blog. They've said, just do a Patreon, do a Kickstarter, do something that we can give you money to make Paradox Space.
Yeah, no, Patreon would be the way to go.
She says morally they can't do that. It's just not their thing.
But that it has nothing to do with morals. It has to do with if you're putting out a product that people like and they want to support it and feel like they're part of the process. That's what Patreon or Kickstarter is for.
I think the thing is,
want to ask. It feels like it's asking for donations. They don't want to ask for money. They want to make a product to sell.
They want to look like a professional company.
But they can't make a product to sell because they don't have any funds right now.
But if they don't make a product to, that's it.
That's why Homestuck's done.
It's
nothing that's happening.
That's the problem with Homestuck is Hussey only wants to do the big stuff now. No more indie projects. He won't even
They just
buy
have the
t-shirts
funds to
from
do big
American
stuff.
Apparel and put stock images on it. He used to do small indie stuff, small indie albums and t-shirts. He only wants to do corporate big stuff now, but he doesn't have the money to do it. And that's what Homestuck has been in limbo for the past year now.
So what are you supposed to do?
We don't know.
As a fan, what do you do?
we have to wait.
Sitting around waiting for him to make a decision.
Basically, what we have to wait for is the court ruling for the odd gentleman to give him back the $700,000. That's what
They've
IPG
given up on
literally
that.
said.
They've given up on that. They said. But they're all they're waiting to do is for 11/11 comes. They can come out with Hive Swap and hope it's a hit.
But
Because if they don't make money off Hive Swap, then it's dead. There's nothing they can do.
what are they supposed to do with $700,000 gone? Why hasn't it gone to the court yet? Why aren't they getting the money back?
Court cases take years. He may never see that money again. Because what if the who is it? The odd gentleman?
Yeah.
What if they declare bankruptcy? Then it's gone. It's a slippery slope you're talking about.
But what are they supposed to do? They literally stole the money.
Yeah, well, people steal money all the time. Corporate crime is a common occurrence, and most corporations or companies have to stay strong enough to weather it out. If you get wiped out in one corporate screw up, you're done. You're out of business. What do? You imagine like Hussey's like, look, Homestuck is dead. I start at Wendy's on Thursday. You guys can come down and say hi. What do you do?
I don't know.
But you saw, Austin, I was going to say, that there's new Homestuck merchandise at Hot Topic, right?
Yes. There was an exclusive John t-shirt of him
Walk
with the
us through
Black
it.
logo. And that t-shirt's available online. It's exclusive to Hot Topic, produced by We Love Fine. And it's supposed to be showing up in stores along with the other t-shirt. People have also reported in that the vinyl figures from We Love Fine are being shipped to Hot Topic. So, is this Hussey's way of trying to go corporate and get some of the money back that he
I
lost to
think
the
it's
odd
out of his
gentleman?
hand at that point.
It's out of his hands because he
Wheel
sold
of
it.
Fine has all distribution rights now.
So when he sold it to We Love
Hussey-
Fine, they're the ones who let's give it to Hot Topic.
Well, yeah. Well, We Love Fine's goal is to sell as much merchandise as possible. That's their one and only business.
Hussey doesn't get to make decisions anymore. He gave that up in July when he moved the product over.
Okay.
Now he just gets a check every month.
But what I'm not getting is that obviously he needs content to continue, and
But he won't make
he was
any.
doing successful back in 2010. Why doesn't he go back to traditional drawing the comic as he used to?
The only
And-
way to do that would be to make a new comic, not Homestuck start something new. And he refuses to do that because he knows he's going to get sidetracked and not come back to Homestuck.
But why can't he just continue Homestuck the way it was before? I mean, we have
Because-
so much plot left.
We're nearing end game. This is finally the section of the comic that he says he's had planned since the beginning. There's been a lot of random filler stuff and weird paths he's taken down, but the very end of the comic he claims he knew since the beginning. And he's had some vision of what it looks like, and from what he said in his last blog post is the next few pages are a very specific type of art that he can't do, no one he knows can do, and it's going to be till sometime late next year until he can figure out how to do it.
Yeah, but he can continue the comic for at least another 2,000 pages.
He says he has 2 weeks. There's 2 weeks worth of normal pages, looking pages, and then in-game starts with a new art style that he can't do.
That doesn't make any sense, though, because there's so much content to wrap up. Why doesn't he just say, the endgame's going to be pushed, I'm going to release 2,000 pages of traditional MSPA content to wrap up
That's
the
exactly
fan
what I
stories.
just said. Doing another comic, but he gets sidetracked and never comes
That's
back
not
to the
another
real canon.
comic. I'm saying just continue Homestuck the way it was.
I don't get what you're trying to say.
You're relying on the idea that he's going to end it right now. But he doesn't have to. He can draw it out for another 2,000 pages and properly wrap up every story slowly and then get to
Spent
that
the
big
entire
endgame thing.
Gigapause writing a script of what happens next. He's not going off the script.
I don't understand.
He has... You don't understand pacing at all.
No, because
You don't make a movie and say, the big climax of the movie. We can't build the set for the climax yet, so the movie's going to be 6 hours longer of random stuff.
But Homestuck was never scripted. He just sort of went with it.
He said he had the end. He said all along the way he went with it, but the ending has always been the same.
I
And he
don't-
said that as recent as 2013-14.
Why would he want to end it so soon, though? I mean, obviously, if he ends it now, he's...
Soon, it's been... By the time it gets out, it'll probably end at the 7-year mark.
But what I don't understand is, if if he continues to put the end out like that quickly, then fans are going to be upset because he never wrapped every story up.
It's 99% done.
But does it really 99% done?
He doesn't need to wrap every story up. He has unlimited video games and Paradox Space to wrap every story up.
Paradox Space was cancelled, and there's no way he's going to tell the fans, I'm sorry you didn't get a proper wrap-up. You can instead get a real wrap-up if you spend $19.99 on this video game that doesn't star the main characters.
Of course that's what he's going to do.
If you look for a tiny Easter egg, you can assume this is how Solix's entire story ends.
Well, yeah,
that's
exactly
dumb.
what he's going to do.
That's terrible. Like, when you have characters like Solix and Oradia that he's obviously not been showing much of lately, he has to give them a proper wrap-up. There's no possible way he could put a really hard-to-find Easter egg in a paywall video game that shows the ending to, like, say, something to do with Psionic, and then you go, oh, so that's how Solix's story must have ended. I can infer that.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
No,
Let him do his thing. You're arguing about problems that aren't even existing yet. He has an ending. He knows how to write it. He just needs to draw it, and it does everything and wraps everything up. He just doesn't know how to do it yet.
But okay, what? Can we move on?
What do you think of Collab?
What do you think? Of Collab?
Oh, you guys have reached a standstill on the argument.
There's nothing to do until we wait and see what he does.
He needs to create something that the fandom can do during this time, other than buy products.
Buy product.
All he's been doing is buy product, other than buying things.
Luna's the equivalent of Linus in the pumpkin patch. Andrew Hussey is coming. He's gonna finish Homestuck.
Sometime next year, maybe.
Like,
You're awfully trusting.
Dad, what would you have an idea for to keep the fan base alive? Like, what's your idea if they want to hate us like this? How do you keep your fans alive to do something?
Well, you come up with side stories, like Shadows of the Empire. There are ways to extend the license. You have to let other people play in your sandbox. If you're too busy or not keen enough on the art, you got to hire somebody else to do it.
He's been preparing, and he was hoping that this point of the comic would hit exactly when Hive Swap hit, but he couldn't time it right.
Well, yeah, video game timing is nil. No one ever times video games right. They never come out on time. They're always delayed. There's always a problem. So why should his be any different? You guys said you were going to be playing it in spring.
It was supposed to be. Then he delayed it till summer, and then now it's just whenever. But probably 11/11 because that's what it says in game.
Yeah, you're so faithful, aren't you? So trusting.
There's still supposed to be a closed beta for Kickstarter people, but
When's that going to launch?
Who even knows?
Oh my god!
If you backed enough money, you got access to the closed beta before it came out.
And the developer blog that updates weekly.
Of course, it also said you'd get a disc that has all of Hive Swap and all of Homestuck on one disc. And all they've said about that is, we're not going to worry about it till all of Hive Swap is out, and Hive Swap's broken into parts. So we have to get all 6 parts of Hive Swap out before you can see the disc.
And then they also said there's going to be a dev blog that constantly updates
These people
stuff.
paid money in 2011 to get this.
2012.
But
12.
I would be very upset if it had taken this long to reap the benefits of your Kickstarter.
These people kickstarted hundreds of dollars, reaching 2.5 million in 2012. And the only thing they've actually gotten from it was the physical rewards, like the plushies and stickers, which they were promised was exclusive, but is now all that We Love Fine.
Oh yeah, no, that stuff was for sale everywhere.
But it's, I mean, he lost all the Kickstarter money, so he had to make it back somehow, so release all the exclusive product. So the fans lost their money and the product.
Since there's no physical disc yet, the only Kickstarter exclusive item was the poster.
Yep, one poster. That was pretty much what you got for a ridiculous amount of money. Because the scale mates were what, 200 to 300?
The Scalemates, I think you had to pay 100 for a Terezi pack, where you got a Scalemate and pins.
I think it was
and
$250, I want to say.
I don't know if it was that high.
It was really
you
expensive.
you were able to get Scalemates pretty cheap if you bought the right bundle.
Oh.
Wow. And no delivery. No game.
No game.
Nothing as promised.
Nope.
But you guys are still okay with that.
And put it this way, the Kickstarter took place, 7 or 8 months before I even knew what Homestuck was? And I was in the fandom a good while until I finally saw people posting, got our Kickstarter stuff in the mail. Yeah, it took nearly a year to get your items.
To get the stuff in the mail.
Well, it takes a while. You know, the Kickstarter I ran, I delivered all my physical books, but part of the rewards were you get to be in the book. So I'm still working on that.
This was like a sticker sheet.
Oh yeah, no, I delivered books.
It took him that long to send stickers and a few
Immediately.
T-shirts.
No, you have to send your stuff out.
And when the stuff wasn't sent, I remember What Pumpkin got filled with reports. Tumblr blew up like crazy, saying they had the worst customer service ever.
And then this year they
People
did the
weren't getting
413
items.
sale.
Yeah.
And people didn't get that stuff till July.
And basically, What Pumpkin got some of the worst reputation ever,
Yeah.
which caused
they just
them
shut it all
to
down.
shut it all down.
Now it's with Wheel of Fine.
Yeah. Well, what else was I gonna say?
We also went to Force Friday. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
That's completely off topic, though.
Yeah, what are you gonna
Yeah.
do?
Running out
You were talking about being disappointed by your fandom, so I thought I'd tie that in.
Oh, if you're in the Star Wars fandom, you should actually be pretty hyped because they're actually releasing content. It might not be good content, but despite the awful Rebels episode, you still get the movie.
Yeah. Well, they just break out with the new novel, the new canonical novel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
the
they
new
have
canonical
all
novel.
sorts of content being released. Why can't Homestuck uphold
This
at least
is
a
completely
little
off
bit of
topic.
that?
You heard, you had all your ideas what's happening in Star Wars. You heard what's in the novel?
What?
You want to know?
Don't spoil it.
Oh, spoiler!
No,
One
it's
line-
wait.
It's one line of text that it only alludes to it. It's not a big spoiler for the book.
It's a big spoiler for the movie.
You want to know?
No, don't
No,
spoil on the
come on.
not on the podcast.
No, you
not
have
on the
to know
podcast.
this.
We're going so off topic. No, not till after
No?
the podcast.
I love you arguing
Come on.
the show.
We're not going to get in the heated Star Wars discussion on the Homestuck podcast. We need to get back on topic.
What are we going to talk about? The fact that you made me watch another episode of Capsulog?
How was it?
Oh my god. I turned to you guys at one point and I said, how can you endure this?
We didn't. That was
Nothing
horrible.
happens.
But no, okay. If you're gonna bash on an act,
He
please
made
bash
a wizard hat with rabbit ears.
Yeah.
And,
That's the goofy hat. It's a reoccurring character.
and there's some sort of monkey business about how he defaced his own posters. And his dad's obsession with Harlequin clowns was actually his dad trying to identify with him
Yep.
and to make a relationship with him.
His son was distant and didn't do anything all day, but
Yeah.
he knew his kid liked Harley Quinn.
And don't think the irony of doing a Homestuck podcast with you guys didn't smack me in the face at that point. Did you think about that at any point?
Oh, wait a second.
I'm the father to two distant children, and so I start a Homestuck podcast to keep up with their interests.
Oh my.
Oh my god.
Oh, I'm getting.
I'm about to take a Sharpie to all your posters in your room
Oh,
and turn
no.
them into clowns.
No.
You'll like it a lot. It's great. The clown posters on your wall have all been defaced, or whatever it is. Ghostbusters 2.
yeah.
You saw plot.
Ghostbusters 2, Mac and Me, Armageddon.
Yeah.
You were introduced to Prospect for the first time.
Who?
The City of Gold.
The City of Gold.
The City of Gold, yes.
Prospect.
I saw
Moon
Prospect.
of Gold. Moon
And then
of Light.
Jay dreamed. Remember that?
With their stupid dream bot that has
Yeah.
4 arms to play a bass.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean why? It replicates everything he does. So, in the dream world, she imagines herself growing all these different arms to play a guitar. So the robot creates all those arms.
You guys keep telling me that at some point something's going to happen on this.
Well, yeah.
But I'm still waiting.
What do you think?
I'm still waiting.
What do you think of the action scene between the aimless renegade and wayward vagabond?
That was alright. At least something happened. Who's shooting at them?
The aimless renegade.
Aimless-
Medium. That's the next.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the next.
That's
what-
the
what
next
do they call it?
chapter.
Exile.
Yeah.
The next exile, which is what? The mayor, the mailman?
Yeah, the Mel woman.
And
Do you know who the next one is?
is he aimless renegade because he can't hit him or because he doesn't know where he's going?
Both.
Okay. What else?
What do you think of
Huh.
Beck?
Beck.
You were introduced to Beck for the first time.
Who's Beck?
The dog.
The dog.
The dog? Oh, well.
Remember Beck World?
Beck
She
World,
kept
so you mentioned him.
shooting it and nothing happened, and then it ate the bullet.
No, it teleported.
It teleported her.
Okay.
And then
Good dog.
Yeah, best friend.
Yeah.
Good dog, best friend.
Good dog.
Good
best
dog,
friend.
best friend.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
But you at least got a lot of Jade. We don't get a lot of Jade in the comic now. We need more Jade.
I think Rose's voice makes me want to stab somebody.
Oh.
I'm trying to check on your things. Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe a chimney is
We're
not
still
the
at the-
greatest way to build a building.
This is still the point where collab wasn't a professional thing. It was a bunch of weirdos on the forums.
Yeah.
So it's not the best caliber.
And Dave just like, huh, that's funny. Ha, ha,
That's John.
John, huh, that's
John,
funny.
I hate the John voice.
I don't
Anyway,
mind.
Can we take a moment to think about this great hat I made?
At least he talks fast.
When it comes to collab, I like the fact that they put the amount of work to it and how much effort they put into it, and they do this as a project, and I think that's really cool. But I don't mind the voices specifically. Like those aren't what I imagine.
It's okay. They're doing Open Bound sometime this month or next month, and it's got fan favorite voices. It's Case and Senor Pac-Man and that Terezi. And all the Octopimps.
I'm probably not gonna watch
Dante
it though.
Basco.
I'm gonna be honest. Just skip
Dante Basco.
I'm just gonna skip to Dante Basco because I can't take
He's in
Open Bound again.
2.
I
There's
really
more John with Jade before you get to Open Bound 2. John's got to yell about ghost butts.
Yeah, I just before reading the comic on my own because I think it's a better read, and then I can imagine my own voices. Like
I need to play the flashes.
Like when it comes to Act 5, Gamzee is Michael Keaton in Beetlejuice. That's Gamzee. That's a good Gamzee voice. But like collab is
Jade
Octopimp.
randomly shooting the dog flash is much better when you actually get to
Play
move the reticle around. You get to shoot the dog.
It works better as a webcomic. It really
Works
does.
better.
It's not as tedious.
Yeah.
You can read it at your own pace.
You read in book form.
That's worse. That's worse than collab.
You were
no.
shouting Dante Basco over and over again.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Dante Basco unboxing the Star Wars
yeah.
Hot Wheels set?
Yeah, what do you think of that? Dante
What-
Basco.
How random is that?
I think he's
He's
in
in
Rebels.
He's in Rebels.
I think he does a voice.
Oh, he does a voice in Rebels.
I think that's how
Yeah.
he's in with them.
All right, now he's suddenly talking about Star Wars toys.
Dante Basco goes from making Homestuck music videos to unboxing the new Star Wars toys.
to filming his birthday celebration
Yep.
like Hook.
Yep.
Your sister wants to watch Hook. Are you ready for another round?
Yeah.
That would be my 4th time seeing it, I believe.
Oh, that's good, huh?
Yeah, we even watched it in school.
You
Hook
lo-
in school.
You love Hook, right?
Yeah, the best scene because it's the funniest thing ever is. I don't. You're supposed to take it seriously in the theater, but I just can't do it. When he rebels against the family by pulling the walkie-talkie phone up, he pulls the antenna up in front of the kids.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, I need my business more, and he pulls the antenna up. Like, that is the funniest thing.
Early 90s technology.
Giant phony hauls around the whole movie.
Then he throws it, right?
Yeah.
Careful, man. You could kill somebody with that. A giant cell phone. Cellular phone. No, they didn't call him back then. You know what they called him? You know? Mobile phone.
Mobile phone.
Mobile phone.
I'm taking a call on my mobile phone. Car phone. They call it car phone and mobile phone, but not cell phone.
Oh my god.
Do you know why it's called a cell phone?
No.
No?
Cellular device, whatever that means.
Why is it a
Cells.
cell phone? Trivia for
Something
everybody
with how
out
it
there.
works.
Why is it called a cell phone?
Something with how it works. I don't know.
Something with how it works? How about you?
It uses cellular connections?
Something with how it works.
You know what a cell tower is, right?
Nope.
You
That's
see them
the
all
fake
around town,
trees.
the fake trees.
Oh, okay.
They triangulate each section, each quadrant is a cell. So it can give you a call in that cell. So you move through the cells in a cellular phone. You get that?
Okay.
Some
Talking
idiot
quadrants
trivia.
now?
No.
Yeah, some idiot trivia for you.
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer a movie where the guy has a giant cellular phone? Mobile phone. He's using to talk to people, or do you prefer a kid using his father's giant PDA to talk to his friends?
What's that?
It's John.
Oh, I know. With his capture
Yeah,
log.
his PDA. He always uses the dad PDA to.
Serious business.
Yeah.
Jack
Oh,
Klein.
God. He finds out the big revelation his dad's normal.
Yep.
Yep. And the Gussels. You're forgetting about the Gussels revelation.
Gushers
What do you think of
were Betty
that?
Crocker.
Betty Crocker. It's not even baked goods.
That's very important later to know that Betty Crocker makes a product that looks like grist.
Grist. How come you don't use that word in your normal everyday life? I'd love to buy that, but I'm out of grist.
It's not important in the comic anymore.
It's not important.
There was
Act
another
3.
currency later on that replaces
It's
it.
like capsulogging, where once you get into Act 4 and through the rest of the comic, it's just, you assume they're doing it, but it doesn't have to be shown.
Yeah, yeah.
is-
no.
Whenever they build something, you assume that at some point they killed something, got its grist, got its capsulog, and then
Yeah,
built
that's
it.
that's writing.
Yeah.
When
We've
it com-
talked about that on the show before.
no.
If you've got a movie about a guy who's having a personal crisis and you want to show him going to work, you only show him going to work once. They just assume the rest of the movie, oh, he's going to work.
But there is another form of currency that sort of replaces it later on.
Simoleons,
It's
like
used
in The
much
Sims?
more in the comic.
Simoleons?
You want to know the name?
Yeah.
Booleans.
What?
Boolean.
No,
Booleans.
nobody knows the term Boolean. That's so forgotten. Everybody says Boonbuck.
Boonbuck.
Everyone says
Boolean
Boonbuck.
is the official code because it has ties to C++ and JavaScript.
Is it a Shroot buck?
You're obsessed with coding. You're obsessed with it.
I think I know what a Boolean is. I'm obsessed. I don't know anything about coding.
You're the
I'm
only.
a John level coding.
You're the only Homestuck fan that uses Boolean. There might be like one other guy in the MSPA forums who's making a fan event, so
It
getting all
returns
the Booleans.
Returns a true or
But
false. The simple as
everybody
on
knows
and
what
off
more people will
variable.
know what Zillium is than Boolean.
Zillium. That's just no.
Oh, you have just,
Zillium, Zillyhoo, Boonbuck,
Zilly
Booyum,
when, Zilly why, Zilly
Zilly
where.
way, Zillyhoo, Zilly.
I bet you're excited to get to that in about how many more hours? I would say at least another few hundred hours.
Yeah.
Why?
To get
Why
to
would
that part.
anybody do this to
You're
themselves?
supposed to read it. You
It
read
took
it a lot
me 1
faster.
month to read.
Remember, for Luna, the part you just got at, that's still day one of reading for them.
Uh-huh.
They went all that in
Well,
one day.
and they say kids don't read anymore. You're sitting and read, but it's not even a book. It's just pages on the internet.
But it's got a lot of text.
There's a lot of stuff that's just pictures.
It's got a lot of text, Rose. I know. I'm trying right now to fix it for you.
You really don't like the collab voices, do you? I really suggest if you don't agree to the collab voices, you should try reading it. Use your own voice.
Yeah, I should try reading it. I should try like. This is Collab, and you're listening to 91 Reasons.
In the time that they spent just showing the image of Jade dancing with Beck, you could have skimmed through 50 pages.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing is that I'm sure you guys are skimming a lot of stuff because my friend Daniel listens to a lot of books on tape, and like I'm trying to think, there was a book like Armada maybe. Like there's a lot of stuff in Armada you just skim right over.
Yeah.
But when you're listening to the audiobook, you're not allowed to. You have to listen to every single word. And he's like, "No, I'm still listening. I'm not finished yet because the guy can't. You can't pick and choose what you want to hear or read."
Well, I ended up doing it. Was my first read through. I did skim through. The only stuff I didn't skim was Act 5 because I thought the trolls were the coolest thing.
You know how to read? When did you learn how to read?
Wow, that's us. But there's certain points of the comic, like some really long text paragraphs, I've read 5 or 6 times, no joke. There are important certain parts I'll go reread over and over and over again. I'll play through all the games again and again, and the games are filled with so much ridiculous text. I've played through Kanaya Return to Core and Carcat Wake Up so many times, and I've read through that Carcat Jade section at least 5 or 6 times, not a joke. But then there's like stuff that's the beginning of Act 6 with Jane. I've only read that once and I hardly remember it. And I don't really have any desire to go back and reread that. So, there's just certain parts of the comic I think you'll find that you like more.
Well,
Characters you get more attached to. Stuff you want to go through and really take your time and read it slowly.
Let me ask you this, both of you. Has your enthusiasm for Homestuck waned? Has it lessened since there's nothing to look at
Yes.
that's new?
It's
Yes, I say
yeah,
yes.
not because it's getting bad looking back on it. It's fine. Everything I've had before has been fine. It's just the new stuff has been meh, and there hasn't been any new stuff lately.
Yeah, the new stuff isn't good enough to get you hyped for more. I don't like it, and a lot of people have left because of it. The problem is, he posted a lot of bad new stuff, which got a lot of people out, and then he took a hiatus doing the bad stuff. There was one flash that was really good, but one flash isn't going to save him from the 1,000 pages of content he posted that weren't good. And it got a lot of fans out. What ended up happening was a lot of fans left because the content was bad, and then he came out with that one flash everybody liked, Sound Remember? So a lot of fans are trying to catch back up during this hiatus, skimming through the bad stuff, and most of them were just plain skipping it and still understanding the story. There are seriously people out there that are skipping from when the whole wet conquest happened, just jumping to Sound Remember. Simply because the new content is boring so many people out. Or at least they'll read just the Terezi and Vriska stuff, but a lot of people are skipping Dave making Carcat and John fist bump, and then Carcat, no joke. he goes on for an entire page about the bro code. Carcat's rant about what the bro code means to him. Like, this is some of the worst content in Homestuck.
That was the biggest update in Homestuck history.
It is, and it's just Carcat talking nonstop about the bro code, and then something about how he's gonna get John back, and somehow in the future, like, it's some setup that Carcat's gonna use the bro code for John. I don't even remember what happened. It was just like, oh my god, you're killing me here.
How much longer can you take before you give up entirely? That's the question.
I'm not completely giving up, simply because the last update was so good. It was a 4-minute flash.
So you're back.
The thing is,
Yeah.
we don't have to worry about another bad update ruining our enthusiasm, because there isn't going to be one until sometime next year, maybe. So, all hope is riding on Hive Swap.
I don't ride my hope on Hive Swap.
That's all there is.
No. I completely forget about Hive Swap sometimes. I wipe my hope on the comic because I like those characters more.
Well, then you're just going to stick yourself in limbo for a year and a half?
I don't know what
He's
to
not
do.
going to be back till maybe next 4/13, probably more likely 6/12 or 10/18.
I don't know. I mean,
Hive Swap, and then probably Hive Swap Act 2 next summer are the only Homestuck content for another year and a half or 2 years.
I just feel like he really needs to get out some content. And if he has content that's good comic he's sitting on, he needs to get it out immediately because he's losing way too many fans.
He says he has
How
2
bad the
weeks
comic
worth.
has gotten.
He has 2 weeks worth of comics sitting around that no one's going to read till next year.
Exactly. What does that mean? It's bad? Does that mean after this good flash we go right back into the cruddy stuff and he's just trying to postpone the fans' disappointment? I don't understand.
He says it's set up. That if it ended on whatever the 2 weeks ends on, then you'd hate him forever because of the cliffhanger. It's better to end it on this great note of Sound Remember that you said, like you said, was a good flash, just getting people back to read it.
Yep. And a lot of people like it because it brings back the real characters. I saw so many people in the tag saying they were crying over the first time because we saw Jake Inglis in over a year. And people were like, well, Jake Inglis has been in the comic. And they'd go back saying, no, Jake Inglis has not been in the comic. That's the real Jake Inglis. Because there's so many fans of those characters that came back that were upset, like, the current versions aren't the real versions. To be honest, did we ever even find out what happened with this version of Jake? He said some awkward stuff happened in Assassin, but we never really got to know any of that. Are we ever going to get filled in on what happened during the Wetcon Assassin? Because we didn't see any of it. It's just a lot of implied stuff.
Yeah.
I don't understand. And then, I also think it saved a lot of fans who did like characters like Gamzee and Kanaya because the new Flash implies that maybe he'll bring them into the plot. That being said, if he doesn't find a way to shoehorn the pre-Wetcon versions into the plot, he's going to lose another batch of fans. So, I don't know what he's going to do. I feel like he just sewed those characters just to say, look, they're still in the comic. But what does he really have to do with them? It doesn't make any sense. Where is he taking this comic?
Well, you follow him on all his social media, Luna. What is he doing? Has he given any indication as to what he's doing instead of doing Homestuck?
On social media, Hussey's been silent for over a month. Even to his own friends. He hasn't tweeted any of his friends for a month.
Doesn't that seem weird? Did he change accounts?
I don't... Maybe, but we don't know. The only thing that's happened is IPGD tweeted a picture of him. IPGD was at his house, and he was holding up her cat high into the air. And that's it.
I think you had a problem when...
Where does he live?
Somewhere in Massachusetts.
I thought he was in
Boston.
England now.
We don't know.
He might be in England. He's hinted a lot of that.
He's hinted that he's moved far away now, but we don't know where. But it's likely because he still attends Florida cons. And the house that he's in when he's holding up the cat in the picture with IPGD this last month looks like it is the house from Barty Brouhaha 3.
His old home video.
His old home video from 2010.
So he hasn't moved since 2010.
He hasn't moved since 2010. It either means he left Boston all the way since 2010 and has been duping us with still being there, or he's still there.
Huh. I think the problem we have is that...
Which wouldn't make sense because in 2014, Toby talked about his Taco Bell wrappers, which means he's still somewhere near Toby, who's in East Coast.
Can we just take a moment to say something that makes me upset? That we have had more communication from Valve to the community than we have Andrew Hussey in the past 2 years. And
Hussey's
Valve
gone.
is the worst known company in the planet for communicating with their community. Mm-hmm. Valve has been updating their own webcomic, the Team Fortress comics, more than Homestuck, which is sad because it only updates once a year. yet it still has more content. Mm-hmm. And Valve's been releasing content and talking to the fans more. Valve has said they want to be more active. Why doesn't Hussey try and do that? Why doesn't he constantly write blog
He has
posts?
nothing to show.
Even if Valve has nothing to show, they've still been doing stuff and talking about VR. They keep saying, don't worry, we have VR, it's gonna be amazing, and they've still kept everybody in check. Okay, that's why Valve hasn't released a new game yet. They're okay with VR.
Well, Hussey said he has a project. And there is one sense of word getting out of what's going on. One person. IPGD on 4chan.
Oh boy.
Which is
Who is
the
this
least
4chan person?
reputable source of all time, but it's all we have is that IPGD has been on 4chan
The
a few times.
least reputable person on the least reputable site.
Yes.
Wow.
But they have said that, yes, it's still happening. Hussey is just as lost as the fans are in where Homestuck's gonna go. He doesn't know how to do it. But they did say that the ending is gonna be unlike anything you've ever seen if he can actually get the art together.
What type of art are we expecting? Are we expecting like the Caliborn Take On Me style for the end of the comic?
We don't know.
That sketchy look?
We assume it's some sort of playable game, because that's the only way he's gonna be able to reach the end with a low page count, like he says he is.
Yeah. We have to have so
If
many text
Homestuck
games.
only has 80 pages left, it's gonna have have a games.
We're gonna have to have one between Solix Fefui and Eridan.
And we know it's not
Like,
a
can I return
3D
the
game
card?
because then it wouldn't be an issue with art. He's got a
Yeah.
whole team for that. So it's some 2D game.
I don't understand. I mean, if he needed pixel art, he can always just talk to his good friend, Brian Lee O'Malley.
Brian Lee O'Malley.
And then he could just go talk to Feastings again
Feastings.
and get some little 2D pixels of the characters. He can get that stuff outside. So what art is it that he cannot commission?
I don't know. Maybe it's from Toby he wants. Maybe he wants Toby to make him a full Earthbound RPG.
I think it's ridiculous.
Can you
the final
imagine the
page.
last page in Homestuck being Earthbound's art style? And a fully playable Earthbound game, but done with Homestuck sprites?
That's happened like 6 times in the comic.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
But like an actual battle RPG.
No, I think it's kind of ridiculous that if you reach the end of the game, rather than showing you the conclusion to a story,
play it.
Hussey expects you to know Earthbound and play the game.
Yeah.
No. That's going to get so many new readers out, and it's a terrible idea. That's really bad, actually. There are going to be so many fans who can't
Well,
beat
then
that
what is
game
it
and can't
then?
get to the end.
If it's not a game, and it's not a Flash, then what is it?
I don't know why he can't
He
come
can
to
make
say.
a Flash. He can make a game. He can make a 3D game. What can he make?
I
He's
don't
made
know.
live action before. He's done it.
He's done
What's
everything.
there left to do?
Maybe it's animation live action cross, like Wazoo Rabbit. I think I said the last
Uh-huh.
episode.
No, it's gonna be something made a website. It needs coding. He doesn't know how to do it. He's gonna want the website to do something.
Dad, what do you think?
Maybe Vriska and Karkat will enter the real world like Homer did at the end
Yeah.
of the Halloween episode. And like, oh, erotic cakes! And it ends. It just ends. Like, that's the end of the
They did
whole
the scene where
series.
Vriska was walking around a photorealistic Knott's Berry Farm, and then they went to the tattoo parlor that's in Knott's Berry Farm.
Well, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, sure.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, that swings. I know that image. That's exactly from Knott's. He just ripped that from Knott's Berry
Yeah.
Farm.
Yeah, Knott's Berry. Karkat likes Knott's Berry Farm.
You know what I liked? The no explanation behind how they went to Knott's Berry Farm.
It was just
And
there.
They just kept
They
saying,
even quote, this isn't here for a reason, oh well.
yeah, they kept saying, I wonder what this is. Like, Hussey, when are you going to explain what that is?
Well, they do go to a carousel, and Hussey's in the background, and there is a picture of Hussey on the internet of him riding a carousel. So it might be from Hussey's memory. Hussey might like a theme park.
Wow, they need to conclude.
There is a
Hussey
theme
needs to
park
conclude
in
his
the
own
Hive
story.
Swap
and-
concept art.
You're saying more, you need to play Hive Swap to understand what's going on.
Well, yeah.
Are we really going to rely on the fact that Hussey's going to leave Homestuck with a million plot holes you have to play the
Listen,
games
there
to
are
figure
two
out?
things you get here, each one equally horrible. You must play Hive Swap to understand Homestuck, or you get Hive Swap has nothing to do with Homestuck and it's a really goofy game like Paradox Space. It's going to ruin the characterization. He's going to make a joke out of the Troll Society.
Look, let me just say something.
The concept art looks meaningful, like he's actually going to have a message. It has the segregated subway. It has all the different trolls with all their different styles. But if he turns into a joke, like you want, then it's going to be terrible.
I never said I wanted a joke.
You said you didn't want to be canon.
I said I did want to be canon.
We've seen from Paradox
He's twisting
Space.
your words.
You're
We've
really
seen
twisting.
from Paradox Space, there is no in between. It's either
No.
serious canon or it's so goofy that you don't even want it anymore.
Your
No.
words are being twisted.
You've twisted my words more than Hussey's twisted this plot around. Jesus, that was so twisted. Like it's so in a freaking knot. Jesus. Okay, let me explain something. I never said I want. What I'm trying to say is I want Homestuck to have an ending that you don't have to play Hive Swap for. Yet I want Hive Swap to connect
Well,
to
you'll
Homestuck.
get that. You're just not
Good.
gonna
Use your aggressive feelings.
Think of it this way.
You are not going to get every single character to wrapped up as good as you want it to be.
Let me think of it. Okay.
You know how Lost? Remember Lost?
Yeah, wrapped
Remember how
up
great
real
that
good.
was?
Look, think of it this way.
Revenge of the Sith.
Then how come Bioshock's ending, the first game had a conclusive ending. The second game. Oh, stop!
Bioshock.
You tell me. Go ahead with your Bioshock, and then
Let me
talk.
explain.
Go. Do it.
Bioshock 1 had an ending. Bioshock 2 concluded the series. Bioshock Infinite loosely, and yet then again, concluded the entire series. Bioshock had 3 different endings that are all a definite end. The player could stop at any point and feel good with a satisfied ending. It's not like it's dependent on Infinite, yet Infinite still ends the series.
So you were happy with all those endings. My question is, when was the last time an ending of anything made you happy?
Bioshock.
Anything else?
Years ago.
Anything else?
But what you're saying with Infinite is what's going to happen with Homestuck. They didn't wrap up every character. They just wrapped up enough that you were happy. Bioshock is canceled except for some movie that's never going to get made. And there was still no explanation for half the characters.
I guess you're right about that, and that kind
That's
of
what Homestuck is. It's going to end with just the main cast, and there are some extra side comics and video games they might maybe make someday.
But
for
he's
the
not.
others.
He's not even doing the main cast. It's literally going to be you just get a wrap up for Dave and Roxy. Those are the only characters that are gonna get a wrap up because
But Austin liked the ending of Pixels, so
I never even saw Pixels.
What was the turkey movie with the ending? Was Chuck E. Cheese?
Freebirds.
Oh no.
Freebirds.
That's where Chuck E. Cheese delivers pizza all over the world. What?
Time travel to the first Thanksgiving so Chuck E. Cheese can deliver pizza.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza, because that's what people go there for. The delicious pizza.
But like for example, is he gonna wrap up Carcat's story for the comic? He's
Yes.
not, is he?
Yes.
Yes.
Carcat's either going to be killed violently or ascend the throne, the Iron Throne of Westeros.
But I feel
He
like
said on Twitter that during the Gigapod, so he had the script written and knew how it was going to end, that Limeblood stuff he'd be saving for Hive Swap. He won't explain all that connection and their powers and stuff. But Carcat's story is going to be finished. He had that written down and set in stone.
okay. But like I think it's pretty obvious at this point we're not gonna see any more of Grandpa Harley until the game.
Grandpa, no.
Because he's the focus of the game.
Yeah, he's the focus of the game. The ancestors are. You won't, except for that one talk Dave and Dirk had right before Homestuck ended, with them talking about Alpha Dave. Guardians are done for the story because he can do it in the game.
But he still wrapped it all up pretty well, and the game's gonna have a better conclusion. That's good. He didn't just like leave it open.
And the Alpha Guardians will be important in the game
Yeah.
because Hive Swap 1. Hive Swap 1 is go to the Troll world and say to the rebellion, and he's already said Hive Swap 2, Acts 4 through 6, is going to be on the Earth fighting the Condis. But we know the Condis escapes to Alpha Earth. We know she lives.
Yeah.
She ends up on the Alpha Earth.
So that means we already know in the comics he's not gonna die?
No. Unless he pulls a, not retcon, but when the Condis went through the portal to Earth, she was split into 2 distinct entities. One that went to the Alpha Earth, one that went to the Beta Earth.
Cause like
One was killed by Joey, one got in the battle with the Alpha Guardians, won, and then entered the session.
I guess we're just gonna have to wait till the game and see.
Both of them married Sassacre.
It's not like the entire gameplay image we have is Joey's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only image of the game we have.
The Condis either married Sassacre twice, or there were 2 Condises that each married Sassacre.
Oh my god, you're hurting my head. I just hope Hive Swap's good, is all I'm saying. And I hope he creates some likable characters that are new, and we still have canon characters. Yet Homestuck's ending is not in this game. Because then the comic is just going to be an ad for a game, and I don't like that. I don't want that. Like, how would you feel, Dad, if you've been reading a comic and it doesn't have an ending? The ending's in a video game you have to pay $20 for.
Like when the X-Files were like, all will be explained at the movies. See you next time. Yeah, it's bull crap.
Yeah, I feel like that's cheating the audience.
It must. If you start something, it must finish in the same medium.
I remember
movie, book, video game, comic book, you name it.
I remember I
If it
couldn't.
jumps mediums, that's fine, but you can't wrap it up except in the medium that you started in.
Looking at the Metal Gear Solid series.
Yeah.
The game started on, what, PS1? Now you have to have a PS1, a Vita, a PSP, a PS3, a PS4, a
How
PC.
many different cell phones do you have to play those terrible Kingdom Hearts games?
If you want to play all Kingdom Hearts, you had to have multiple different cell phone devices.
Because they're all bad mobile games, every one of them, and they won't make a Will game.
The phone ones are eventually ported, but you have to own a PSP and a 3DS.
Kingdom Hearts is on a hiatus worse than Homestuck, because the equivalent of Quaddy updates is Waxus is like Retcon Sora, basically. Unlikable version of Sora.
Yeah,
And
but you had to finish Parappa the Rappa by going to a local rap club.
you did?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
But like, that I just feel that I'd cheat so much, because like, I remember I couldn't even afford Namco High.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I hope Hive Swap's on Steam so I can afford it with virtual hats.
It'll be on Origin.
Exactly. But like, I couldn't afford Namco High, and I was worried I'd miss some plot elements by skipping Namco High.
Well, BYB did his playthrough with all the Homestuck related stuff, so that's all online.
I don't want to watch BYB's playthrough. I don't like BYB.
Most of it's reading.
There'll be lots
only
and
one or two
lots
are
of
video.
expensive DLC.
You couldn't even buy the Homestuck characters. You had to buy the complete pack to get the Homestuck
Homestuck for
extras.
bonus.
So you had to spend about $45 in this game. It was
What
something
Husky
completely
said about
ridiculous.
Hive Swap is that you won't need to read Homestuck to play Hive Swap, but if you do, you'll get extra jokes.
Okay.
He said basically, well, according to all the news articles have said in the press thing, it appears that he wants people to play the game first, then read Homestuck.
So it's more like the game's gonna have stuff that hints at the comic having the conclusion. It's sort of like they play through the game and it's like, you wanna know what happens next with these characters? Read the comic. Except
Yeah.
it's free, so it's okay. Mm-hmm. You know? If Homestuck had a paywall, it'd
He
be
said
kind
that
of highly different, but it
the
doesn't,
first
thankfully.
Hive Swap 1, the first 3 acts, or four acts? I have to look it up again. I think it's 4. The first few acts is Joey's adventure through trolls, and it's going to expand on troll culture, and it's going to be a self-contained story. And then 2 will be Jude on Earth fighting the Condus, which will make perfect sense if you haven't read the comic. If you have, then it will make more sense. But if you play it and then read the comic, you'll still get the more sense. You'll get the big picture no matter which order you read it in.
Where was that said, though? Because whenever I mention those 2 different games, people get really mad at me saying, no, there's only one game, it's 6 episodes about Joey. There was no Jude story with
No,
the
it's
alternate
been
alien.
said and resaid almost as much as Scrappy Troll Rebels.
That line, Scrappy Troll Levels.
The line "Scrappy Troll Rebels" is in every single Hive Swap interview.
'Cause, like-
but as is the fact that they're doing 6 episodes or 8. I think it's 8 because it's 4 and 4. 4 of Joey, where he plays Joey with Zephyros as the side character, and then that will be released on disc with Homestuck as a separate thing.
And then the sequel.
Then they'll start the sequel game, which isn't included in Kickstarter. You gotta pay for it, even if you bought the
That
Kickstarter.
is such a joke.
And that it will also be 4 episodes long, and you'll play as Antler Troll with Jude as the side character, and you'll be on Earth.
But you don't get that if you pay by
But that is its own separate game, and we have a new title, whatever they come up with by then.
House Swap.
House Swap, yeah. Whatever they come up with by then, and it will be a separate paywall, and I think he's going a little bit into Zelda the Oracle series, Oracle of Seasons, Oracle of Time, Ages, something like that. It was 2 Zelda games both about time travel and parallel universes, and the gimmick was that the ending of each one led to the beginning of the other, so it was an infinite loop, and you could play them in either order to get the full story.
Okay.
That's what he's going to try to do with Hive Swap.
That's a really hard ending to write.
The first
Let me tell you right now.
Yeah. It's gonna be, we've already seen the opening of Hive Swap Act 1, which is Joey in her room trying to signal Jude. Hive Swap 2 Act 1 will probably be Jude in his room trying to signal Joey. And the game will play out the same until the portal gets activated. Then you get to see their respective sides.
Okay.
The games will be in parallel with each other. And then the ending, however Hussey finds a way to get them into Universe C to rescue them from the Reckoning, the characters will converge again. And then the ending will for both games will probably be the same.
Okay. I mean, we've already been introduced to 2 characters who are murdered on screen at Homestuck. How do we know these characters aren't going to die?
Yeah. The canon fan trolls are going to be in the game on Alternia.
We saw them murdered
and
in the comic.
they somehow end up in Universe C. And the Jude and Joey need a way to survive because we're not going to kill the poor little kids. So they need a way to get to Universe C.
So you're telling me
makes sense.
the game's going happily in Universe C, and then you read Homestuck, and they sell the characters from the game finally, and you're like, okay, imagine playing through the game and falling in love with Nectan Wellfan and going, I really like that character in the game. Oh, well, it's time to eat this Homestuck thing. Oh, these new characters are cool too, okay. Oh my god, it's Nectan Wellfan in the comic! Next page, he's brutally murdered.
Yeah.
What are the reactions there?
Yeah,
They
that's how
played
it's
through-
supposed to be. The whole point of Homestuck, the 8,000-page setup, is just to create Universe C. That's the whole goal of the comic, is create Universe C through any means necessary. Of course, the kids don't understand that Universe C is where Lord English is going to be created. And they shouldn't be making it in the first place. But it's also where Jude and Joey are going to be saved, so they have to make it.
Oh. Are we ever going to get... You know what John is knocked out and he has that glance of Jade real quick? Mm-hmm. That silhouette of Jade for like a second? Mm-hmm. Are we ever going to get Joey knocked out and CC's Jade for like a second?
It won't be Jade.
Well, they're sisters!
Well,
They have to have some sort of connection in the plot.
maybe. She hasn't been born yet. The comic takes place a month before Jade shows up. Jude and Joey are going to be having a full adventure on Alternia through their teleporter before they ever get back to Earth, if they ever do get back to Earth.
You really don't think that near the final end of Homestuck, we're not going to get a quick page of Jade breaking down, realizing she has a sister somewhere, to hint the readers that Joey exists?
Maybe. This is... Oh, God. This is spiraling into Percy Jackson.
Look, Hossie's kind of like what we were doing. You really think... You know what? Oh my god.
Percy Jackson book... while writing book 9, he said book 11 will be about Annabeth's brother, who's never been mentioned before, a new brother. Well, in Percy Jackson book 10, she finally offhand in one sentence mentions that she has a brother.
Haven't you been noticing they've been sewing all those weird troll signs around Kanaya when she got the matriorb?
Oh, that was definitely on purpose.
That was a high swap.
When Roxy
yeah.
did the matriorb and they did all the troll signs for Kanaya, that's 100% the canon troll alphabet, the first one we've seen.
But like... Dad, you're falling asleep. These are Homestuck speculations.
We're hearing you're snoring on our mic.
Sorry, I was up late last night.
Do you want to wrap it up soon?
Yeah, let's wrap it up because I have to go to work.
Okay.
All right,
We're just rambling about
well,
Hive
one
Swap
last thing
now,
I want
so.
to conclude on. Is Hussie purposely trying to slam as much Hive Swap stuff into the comic he right now?
I think it's just Hussie being Hussie, that he's always drawn from older stuff, like thrown in references to older comics. He loves drawing from other stuff. And now, although unreleased, he has an entire game's worth of lore that he can pull jokes and references from.
Yeah.
And so he's not doing it on purpose, that's just how his brain works.
And do you think he'll pull a Wick Weirdwin and despite introducing a game with new characters, will turn into a ridiculous Homestuck sequel?
No, because
He doesn't want to put the ending behind a paywall.
Hussie only wrote the blueprints. Look, it was a little blueprint blurred out. You put a picture of. The actual step-by-step story is all being done by what's her name? I forgot her name. The head of What Pumpkin Games. She says she's the one that's doing the actual story writing.
Okay.
Hussie laid out of this is what I want to happen in the beginning. This is what I want to happen in the end. This is what I want to happen when this happens, and blah, 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 blah. Then he passed that over to Ryan North, who wrote specifics of
Puzzles.
when you click on this puzzle, this happens.
Yeah.
If you click on this crate, this funny joke appears.
He wrote the humor.
Yeah, and then the people who are working at the studio every day, they're the ones who put the story in coherent together and actually built the character lore.
Okay. We're done.
That's it? You're done?
Yeah.
Half the fan trolls are based off of people who work in the studio. They weren't even part of the original Blueprint.
Any plugs you have? Are you doing anything online?
I would plug the Homestuck server, but to be honest, it's been pretty dead lately and it's having a lot of issues. What I will say is that I am in talks with some people about doing a new Homestuck server. A new Gary's Mod Homestuck server from scratch that will be advertised on the MSPA forums and everything that is going to be much better because even when I did advertise the one I did advertise here, when people started coming, they didn't like it and the server's gotten very bad reviews on Reddit. So
Some people weren't liking it.
I'm involved as a moderator for a new server that's coming out that will be much better.
What about you? Any plugs?
Not right now. I haven't have any finished projects lately.
All
Team
right.
Fortress 2 stuff I've been working on.
All right.
Yeah, you've been working
I
on a
entered
weapon.
their weapons competitions. I get a special badge.
But now that the TF2 weapons competition is over, will we finally see some more work on Homestuck mapping?
Maybe. My next project was the Lua coding. I was going to make weapons so you can actually use, and objects you actually click on and they do stuff. And then I moved computers and lost all the code.
Do you still have it?
I still have the animations and the objects and all the setup, but I'm missing the code, so I'd have to do it all from scratch.
Will you do it again or no?
Eventually, someday.
So we're never going to see it.
Maybe. When I did get the playset wardrobe working again. That's all. That's up and anyone can play it now. So I am doing stuff.
But we're never going to see those weapons.
Maybe. Just whatever I feel like doing.
That's what Gaben has said about Half-Life 3 for the past 7 years. Maybe.
The most likely thing that's going to happen is I'm going to take a break from Homestuck Gmod stuff, work on other stuff, work on TF2 stuff, and come back to Homestuck after I've played through Hive Swap. That'll get me hyped again for Homestuck, and I'll be able to rip the models from it and use those in mapping and stuff.
Do you think part of the reason why you haven't been working on it is because you aren't hyped about the
there's
comic?
Nothing new.
The reason why I'm making Team Fortress stuff is because Valve's been updating the Team Fortress comic.
My plan was to do models based on the updates, and I did. I did all of Vriska stuff, and Vriska was important in the update. When Trezzy Remember happened, I made her rocket pack, and then that's it. He stopped.
The entire comic has been nothing but Trezzy and Vriska for the past year.
That's all I did.
Yeah. He needs more variety in the comic. Oh well.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this episode. You can, we'd like to again thank Vriska for Vriska's support on Patreon these months. It's been fantastic. We couldn't have done the show without you. If you'd like, you can support us on Patreon. Go to Patreon, Patreon, and look up 91 Reasons.
Are you excited to finish Act 3?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Hey, there's a big exciting animation at the end.
Hey, Austin, what's the easiest way to support the show?
Leave a review.
Where?
On iTunes.
On iTunes. He didn't know what iTunes was.
No one uses iTunes.
I don't know what iTunes is exactly.
It doesn't matter. You can get 91 Reasons on 10,000 different platforms, right?
Reddit users all use Podbay.
Podbay. Let's hear for Podbay. All right. Thanks for listening. I am Jeff. Wow. We dropped the ball.
Austin.
No, let's try it again. Boy, did you drop the ball there.
I'm sorry.
Like last, what did you say that last time where you all screwed up and I put it at the end of the episode? You're like, oh. Thanks for listening. I am Jeff.
I'm Austin.
I'm Luna.
And together, live from Buena Park, California, we are
91 Reasons.
Up in the morning, I'm out on the job, working like a devil for my pay, just like that lucky old sun. Give me nothing to do but roll around heaven all day.
Thanks for listening to 91 Reasons. Please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. Find us on Facebook. Is anyone even still listening?